to another episode of Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. Hey, let's talk about what are you going to talk about today? So, have you already defined your offer? Are you wanting to jump into that six-figure income bracket but haven't figured out how? Well, today I start a four-part series for you, the BIPOC Mujerpreneur, on how to actually define your offer and begin to actually align with six figures. All right. So let's get to it. Okay. So if you're listening to me wherever you listen to your favorite shows, gracias por estar aquí. I am Marti Angel, your Latina biz coach or small business coach or host for the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. If you are watching me right now, hello. And the on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, gracias por estar aquí. I just want to say thank you so much for listening and being a watcher here in the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel and a listener to the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded podcast, because this podcast is where I help modern, multicultural, and bilingual and BIPOC mujerpreneurs grow their business to six figures and beyond while living their best life. And as I said before, I am your host, Marti Angel. If you're watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, make sure you to subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I go live once a week, right? So let me talk about what step number one is in your entrepreneurial journey. Step number one. So today I'm starting a brand new four-part series, the Six-Figure Latina Biz Roadmap. And we're kind of kicking off things with the most important and the most foundational step, which is if you have something to sell, whether it is a business or a product or a service, you must define your offer. If you've ever felt like you're posting, creating, and working nonstop, pero the sales are not showing up, this, Mujerpreneurs, is the episode that you want to focus on, that you want to make sure that you hear. So grab your cafecito and let's sit down and let's have a chit chat. So why is this step non-negotiable? Well, your offer is the heartbeat of your business. Without clarity, everything else feels scattered. You could be the most talented coach, the most creative designer, and the most passionate speaker. Pero if people don't understand what you're offering and how it will help them, they're not going to buy. No van a comprar. I can't tell you how many mujerpreneurs I meet who have amazing gifts but struggle because their offer is so vague. So I once worked with a client who told me, I help women live better lives. Well, my question to her was, that sounds great, but how do you do that? And who are these women and how old are they? And what do they do for a living? And what kind of life are they living now that you help them change into a better life? And I told her that's a beautiful mission, but it's not an offer. So you have to make sure that you know the difference between a mission statement and an offer. So we had to dig deeper. What women? So I asked her, what women? How old are they? What kind of women, like me? Like, let's say you were asking me that. What kind of women? I basically work with BIPOC, bilingual, Latina, mujerpreneurs, and that's who I work with. How exactly? I empower them to craft their offer, their business so that they can take it from brick and mortar to click and order. I also have a community where I teach people the different platforms that they might actually need so that they don't have this overwhelm of what I call platform anxiety because they're not sure. There's so many platforms, and now with AI, it's crazy, right? So, what result do you help your people, I call them your people. Okay. So let's say you had these people around you. Who would they be? Right. And so when she got specific, then she said to me, I help bilingual Latina moms create simple online products so that they can sell. Great. And I said, and how much money do you think that they can make? Well, they can earn probably anywhere from $100 a month to $2,000 a month from home. So everything changed. Did you hear that? Everything changed. Her DM started blowing up. Why? Because the right people finally knew she was speaking to them, right? So let me ask you what your offer really is. What is your offer and what is it really, right? Because your offer, Mujeres Hermosas Chulas, is not just a product. It's not just a service or a coaching package or a community like I have. It's a transformation. You are promising your client a transformation, whether that means clarity on who they serve, clarity on, creating products in order to be an affiliate marketer, or whatever it is. There's clarity. Let me give you an example because people are always asking for examples. So let me give you an example. Instead of saying, I sell nutritional coaching, say something like, I help the busy bilingual mujerpreneurs improve their gut health and energy levels so they can feel confident and unstoppable. Boom. See the difference? See the difference? Let me repeat that again. I help busy bilingual mujerpreneurs improve their gut health and energy levels so they can feel confident and unstoppable. That's the difference. I know exactly whether or not I want to be that. I want to be with that person. So you need to find out. Step number one is about what you do. What do you do? The other is about what they get, right? So what do you do? I help busy bilingual mujerpreneurs improve their gut health and energy. Why? So they can live a confident and unstoppable life. That's what they get, a confident, unstoppable life. And if you have ever had any gut health, like I certainly have, you know how important it is. I can kind of manage through and muddle through when I have a headache. But Lord, let me tell you, if I've got a stomach ache, I'm almost killed over, right? So let's talk about how to really harness this. So step number one, know who you're talking to. Know your dream client. If you want to define your offer, you have to know who, 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 a quién le estás hablando, who are you speaking to? You've got to ask yourself, what is her daily life like? What is her daily life like? What's stressing her out? We need to know those things so that we can ask those things, so we can share the fact that we have answers for them. Like another one, what's the goal she secretly wishes she could reach? Do you help these women? So think about that. Step number one is really, really all about this. It's not about guessing. It's about really, really listening to your community, to your audience. Escucha tu audiencia. You've got to know it. If you're using Facebook groups, then who's in your group? If you're using conversation somewhere else on a podcast, then who are you talking to? The words that you use should be the words that they use to describe their struggles. So use those exact words in your offer, right? So listen to exactly what they are, what are they saying? What are they saying? What are they describing that you can then reiterate back to them and describe that transformation that you are going to give them? I promise you, people don't pay for information. They can get information everywhere free. They pay for the transformation that you are going to help them get. Again, people don't pay for information, they pay for transformation, right? So think about your own purchases. When you bought something, has it been because somebody has been hounding you, or is it something that you truly have been wanting? When was the last time, ask yourself this, a self-coaching question, because you know I'm all about self-coaching, especially when you're trying to get to the next level when you are a servant leader. When you bought your last online course or hired a coach, you weren't just buying the videos or the calls, you were buying the result that they promised, right? I mean, if they said, I have 30,000 videos and you can watch them all, and I made that mistake. I'm not the type of person that likes to watch videos and learn from that. I like to watch a short video and actually use the techniques or employ the techniques that they use in that video right away. But if I've got to watch an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half video, I'm not there. This ADHD adult, I'm just like, no, I don't want to buy a treasure trove of videos. So ask yourself, what will change for my client after working with me? And then once you know that, you can begin to share that. People are looking for results. What results can you help me get, right? Will they have more time? Will they have more income? These are questions you need to ask yourself. What will they do? If you're still listening to me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, remember to subscribe and hit that bell. And thank you so much for being here. If you're listening to me on the audio, remember to check the show notes for all the links of everything that I talk about and more goodies. All right, so let's get back to it. Will they have more time after they buy your service or your product? Will they have more income after they buy your coaching? Will they have better health once they buy your product? Will they have more peace of mind as you're selling the meditations? In Espanol, we say, píntame la escena, right? Paint me the picture. You've got to paint that picture for them so that they can then look at that and say, that's what I want, right? That's what I want. Píntame la escena. Paint me the picture. Show them what's possible in their life after saying yes to your offer. That's so important. You've got to show them, right? Step 2 is all about showing them. Let's focus on step 3. Step 3 means, or I name it, frame it and name it. Frame it and name it. Step 3 is frame it and name it. Even if your offer is a one-on-one coaching, give it a name. Give it a name. This makes it sound like it's a structured, proven system, not something you're making up as you go. Names like Focus for Success Blueprint, Launch with confidence. Boss up your branding method. A name turns your offer into a thing that people can remember and talk about. And talk about it at least 5 to 7 times, because most people want to hear that message 5 to 7 times before they actually decide to buy, right? So now let's talk about common mistakes. What are the common mistakes that most mujerpreneurs make? Here are the top 3 common mistakes that I see when I am helping my community define their offer. Number 1, too broad. I sell everything. Well, if you sell everything, you sell nothing. I help people be healthier. Okay, that's great, but how do you help them be healthier? Do you teach them meal prep? Do you teach them to take vitamins? Do you teach them to to study their gut? What do you do? How do you help? How are you helping me become healthier, right? So, too feature focused is also a problem. Listing 6 coaching calls doesn't sell, right? You get 6 coaching calls. Well, that doesn't sell. But the transformation that they're going to get when they buy your 6 coaching calls, that's that is what they're buying. So changing your offer constantly is important, right? So you've got to monitor, you've got to say it and monitor it, because consistency, when they've seen you say it 5 to 7 times again on a reel, on your story, on your blog, on your podcast, on your other social media, right? Consistency builds trust and recognition. That's so important. So, you guys all know that I like to share my little stories, my little personal experiences. So, I want to share with you because I've been where you are. When I first started my coaching business, I made all these mistakes. I said, everybody needs my coaching. All mujerpreneurs need my coaching. No, they don't really. I had a laundry list of services, and they were all over the place. One day it was a social media help, the next day it was nutritional coaching, the next day it was leadership training. And guess what? Nobody knew what I was all about. But once I defined my offer, I help multicultural, bilingual, Latina, mujerpreneurs, micro biz mujerpreneurs. Okay, that's even more niche down, right? It's a micro biz, which means that they have 10 or less employees. And I help them gain clarity, get organized, and build 6-figure businesses so that they can rock their best life, whatever life that is for them. My content marketing and sales are all lined up. So my content is there. I have it on Google Sheets. So being organized also helps you, right? It's so important, sumamente importante que sepan lo que están vendiendo y a quién le están hablando. Porque si yo te vendo tortillas, pero tú no te gusta tortillas, pues entonces no te voy a vender. In English now, what happens is this. Let's say I'm sharing with you journals, right? Empty journals so that you can journal, and you're not a journaler, you're not going to buy that, right? So you got to make sure that you're speaking to the right people. Is your who is your community? Who are your people, right? Your action step this week. You know that your action step this week. I always give an action step. And the reason is I am an educator. I've been an educator for all of my adult life. And it's so important that there is an action step connected, right? So before I share anything else, I want to make sure that if you are listening to me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, gracias por estar aquí. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss an episode. If you're listening to me wherever you listen to your podcast shows and you've made it this far, gracias por estar aquí. Remember, the show notes have goodies, so make sure you look at the show notes. Okay, mi mujer, before this weekend's hermosa, chula, here's what I want you to do. I want you to sit down and write out these 4 things. Number 1, and ready? Are you ready to write it down? Write it down. Who your offer is for. Be specific, right? Bilingual, BIPOC, MujerPreneurs. Are they seasoned? Are they not seasoned? Are they young? Are they, handicapped? Who? Be very specific. And then the second question that I want you to really ponder and really answer, what problem does it solve? For me, that means that I help the mujerpreneur find clarity in their platforms and in their offers and in their business so that they can actually focus and really streamline who they're talking to so that they can begin to rock 6 figures and make their, best life even better. So what problem does it solve? What problem does it solve? For me, the problem I'm solving is for all you mujerpreneurs who aren't sure what platforms to use, but you know that there's all kinds of platforms out there, and you want to make sure that you're not wasting time like I did buying platforms that you don't need, right? Now, the next most important thing is, what results does it deliver? Like, for instance, once you get all organized for me, then you can begin to really focus, streamline, and rock 6 figures, right? And then name your offer. For me, it's the Rock Your Biz Academy community. I teach all of these things in the community, in my group coaching program. I don't do one-on-ones anymore. So name your offer, like mine, Rock Your Biz Academy community, right? But don't overthink it. You can refine it over time. People tell you can't do it until you get it right. No, go out there, do messy action. You can always fix it and apologize if you mess up like I do. But start, because you can't move forward until you start. You need to start with a clear and confident answer. It's so important, right? Okay, so you're now looking at me and you're saying, wow, what's next? What's next? Well, let me share with you. If you love today's episode, this is only step 1. Next week, I'm going to cover step 2, and it's all about building your personal brand. Today was who are you speaking to? Next week, it's all about building your personal brand. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. You want to make sure you're subscribed to this podcast, subscribe to the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel so that you can watch me as I'm talking. Some people like to watch me, and you can have the video version of this training. You can come back to listen to it again. And also, I created an Organize Your Digital Biz checklist. I'm all about organization. Why? Because I am an ADHD type person and I need organization. And there's other people out there that need organization. But this checklist, it's going to help you map out your offer and finally get focused. And you can grab it for less than a cafecito, cup of coffee. So if you're listening to me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, you're going to find the link down below in the description below. But if you're listening to me wherever you listen to your favorite shows, it's in the show notes. Recuerda, mujer, clarity creates confidence, and confidence creates cash. Let me repeat that. Mujeres hermosas, chulas, you need to remember this. Clarity creates confidence, and confidence creates cash. So let's build your six-figure roadmap juntas, and let's rock those six figures. Join me in the Rock Your Biz Academy because I would love to have you there and help you rock six figures. Nos vemos en el próximo episodio de La Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. So I will see you in the next episode where I speak about step 2 here on the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded podcast. And as always, have a beautiful day, mujeres. Have a beautiful, beautiful, strong day. This is Marti Angel, your host of the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded, signing off, saying gracias and namaste.